Welcome into Bluegrass Burnouts. Today we are talking about the race at Michigan. Cody, we are officially, if I am not mistaken, halfway through the Amazon calendar here, and that's very sad because is it 5? I thought it was 6. Or how many do we have left with it?
That's fine. It's due June 21st, so however long
Okay.
that takes us.
Okay, yeah. So what,
way.
3 more weeks, whatever it is. But it's going to be sad because, let's be honest, Amazon probably has the best NASCAR setup of anybody. Now, one of the main reasons for that is because, one, the broadcasting is just very good. Amazon does a good job. I know people really knock on having to watch things on Amazon, but they do a fantastic job, especially with NASCAR. But the big thing about them is, Cody, they can have a pre-show where it's the only thing on, and then they can have the race, and then they can have a post-race show where they are not restricted by anything else. And that is what people really, really like.
It's so much better.
I mean, it's basically like having College Game Day, but for NASCAR when Amazon is
quite literally.
That's the best way to describe it.
It's like having NASCAR Speedback.
Yes, exactly. That's a great example.
It is like having NASCAR Speedback, and it's perfect because you get all these driver interviews both before and post race. It literally is the best of both worlds. And obviously, when Prime got announced, there was a lot of gripe. Everyone was like, "Oh, well, my NASCAR is behind a paywall." The quality of these streams, the quality of these broadcasts, both during, before, and post the race, are incredible. And it's taken away all of those gripes. Because while it still might, I got to get Prime to watch these races, getting Prime is worth watching those races because of how good the coverage is. Not only who they're bringing in, they're bringing in people that know what they're talking about, Dale, Steve Letarte, like bringing in all these people, Corey LaJoy on the pre and post race. Some great insight. They're bringing in legends. Like this week we had Truex. Like these people know what they're talking about, and it makes everything so much better. But it's also, we just get a better look at the drivers as a whole.
Like, it also makes things go. No, you go. Go. No, you go. You go.
Especially with Fox, I think that's a big problem is we don't get enough of that. I feel like we don't talk about the sport enough. Like a lot of it is, this is what's happening, but it's not necessarily why this is happening. And then, obviously we get the cutaway car. They love the cutaway car.
Yep.
Showing how that works and everything. But a lot of times we don't get that from the driver perspective. And, obviously there's so many examples of that happening. It's not like it doesn't happen. But I think Prime really leans into that, like the getting it straight from the driver. Because at the end of the day, the people who can tell you the most about the sport are those who have been in the sport or are currently in the sport. And Prime has absolutely nailed that. And like you said, 1000% Prime is the best broadcast for NASCAR at this time. 1000%. I have no doubt in my mind. They are killing it.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. But let's get into what we actually are wanting to talk about, the race at Michigan, Cody. Michigan's one of those tracks where I don't think anybody, there's probably are some people that would say Michigan's their favorite track, but Michigan is a fun track. It's one of those ones where, it kind of sneaks up on you where it is in the schedule. I feel like in the past it's been later in August. This year it's in June, obviously. But it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, it's Michigan this week. Like, this is going to be a fun one to watch. Like, it's like when Kansas comes up on the schedule in Vegas. Those are the types of tracks that, you expect a good race here. You're going to expect a quality race. It's not like, okay, it's Texas. It might be good. It might be bad. No offense to Texas. Texas has had some good races here the past few times. But how it used to be, especially with the Gen 6 cars, it was like, oh, like, it's Texas. We're probably not going to have a good one. But with Michigan, like, you're expecting a good race, and it delivered this week. It really did.
I honestly, and this is a conversation I've had a few times, I think it over-delivered this week. Michigan is a great track. Like you said, we get some good racing. But the problem that I think a lot of times, and it's not necessarily a problem, but it's not exactly a very thrilling race a lot of the time.
Yes.
We get some good racing. We have solid races, but a lot of time it's people struggling to pass. There's not a lot going on. we get very big gaps between the drivers a lot of times at Michigan, and we didn't have nearly as much of that. And obviously, there was a big gap, especially towards the end, and we'll talk about that. But I feel like a lot of during this race, there were battles going on, there was stuff going on track, and a lot of drivers were staying close enough together where you could get the camera on a couple of guys, and there was something happening. It wasn't reaching for straws or having to do all of that. It was a full race. We had a bunch, and obviously we had way more cautions than we usually get at Michigan. So overall, just in terms of how the race was, and especially the viewing experience, I think they absolutely over-delivered on this one.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let's get into the actual race, Cody. There are a couple big things to talk about. I think we should probably just start. Let's just start with Hocevar. Let's start with Hocevar.
Yeah. Man, Carson, I really thought he was getting it done today. Dude, going in, qualifying second, I absolutely thought that Hocevar was going to get it done. But in pure Hocevar fashion, gets involved in a couple accidents. Obviously, the main one, just getting up on the restart. And I've seen a couple replays now. Obviously, everyone is like, oh, well, there goes Hocevar. I don't know that it was necessarily his fault. I believe it was Nemechek in front of him on that restart, and
I believe it was.
Just kind of didn't get going. Just kind of seemed like a stock up, and obviously Hocevar, you're trying to go. It's a restart. You make some contact, and it ends how it ends. And I saw that Hocevar did the interview afterwards, where he was talking. He was like, "Hey, I was trying to get to the left. Like I wasn't trying to, run into him or anything like that." And it kind of just ends up how it ends up. But he got a lot of crap for that. And then the stuff with Bubba after the race. I mean, honestly, I don't know how I really feel about it. He was racing Bubba very, very hard. They weren't really making much contact, or there wasn't anything crazy. But Hocevar makes a move to the outside, ends up getting in the wall, and was a huge setback for him. But I'm not totally sure why Bubba felt so strongly about everything. Bubba seemed really heated in that post-race interview, or when they were showing them talking. And I mean, he has a point, in the interviews after. He said, I was telling him, you're too fast. Your car is too fast to be running it like that. But if I had a fast car, I would also want to be running it like that. I'm going to be making moves. I'm not going to sit back.
100%.
And I just feel like Bubba didn't really have a reason to tell him any of that. It felt like a really weird, not necessarily an overstep, because I understand where he's coming from. Like he's not giving him bad advice or anything. I don't know. It felt like a very out of place thing where it could have just been, hey man, good race, some friendly advice here, where it more felt like he was like trying to drill this into him. Like I don't know. It felt a little weird, but at the end of the day, I see where he's coming from, and it's not like I said, not like he was making a bad point. I just was a little thrown off by it. But overall, Hocevar had a great day at his home track, and I really thought he was going to get it done today, but it was not his day, unfortunately. And we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, no, it was not his day. Was not his day at all. But it was Denny Hamlin's day. Now, it's emotional, Cody.
Very. Absolutely.
It's emotional, especially with Denny tying Kyle. And
it was so great. It was so great. I was fingers crossed that they were going to do something, and they killed it.
Yeah, no, 100%. He killed it. I mean, it is. I feel like now, and I hope nobody else ever passes away like Dale did, like Kyle did. Hopefully it will never happen. But it seems like now it is the tradition that you hold their flag out your window if it does happen. Again, don't want it to happen. Don't ever want it to happen. But on the off chance and the unfortunate chance that it does, this seems like this is what we are doing going forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was perfect because he was already so close to him in wins. Because when Jeff Gordon did this for Dale, I believe it was a good bit afterwards. Or
Yes.
not super long, but he had to wait a while to get that moment. And with him being so close already, we only had to wait 3 weeks to
Mm-hmm.
get this moment. And it honestly made it hit so much harder. Because I saw posts of people saying, "Oh, when Denny ties Kyle, he needs to do what Jeff did for Dale." And I was like, "Man, that'd be super cool.
Be awesome.
Hopefully that happens." And when I saw him doing the burnouts, and I saw the guy standing on the wall with the flag, I was like, "Here we go." And might I say, I don't know who designed the flag. I don't know if it was Denny, RCR, Joe Gibbs, whoever designed the flag did a phenomenal job on the design. It's obviously nothing super complicated, but incorporating the 8 and the 18 was just perfect. Genuinely, the design could not have been any better in it. It really impacted. It just showed the impact of Kyle and his legacy. How long he was running both numbers, being synonymous with both numbers, both teams at this point. And while we're talking about Kyle, we'll get back to Denny really quick. But I saw the RCR press conference, and I don't know if you saw this, Zach, but RCR did a press conference at Michigan, and they opened it by saying that they were supposed to be announcing
Saw this.
that
Yep.
Kyle was going to stay with them for 2027 this week, and that hit. That was rough.
It did.
But thankfully we got to celebrate him a little bit with Denny winning this race, holding the flag out, and honestly, it was just perfect. But getting back to Denny on this, Denny was dominant.
He was.
Without a shadow of a doubt. He usually runs well here, so nothing crazy. It was nothing shocking. It was just no one could do anything, and especially in the third stage, a 10-second lead at a track that many relate to a super speedway. Like,
Yep.
Michigan is a high speed track, and in a stock series, you really shouldn't be able to get a 10-second lead out of that. Like, that is almost unheard of. Almost unheard of at a track like Michigan, especially on a relatively short run. So, man, just props to Denny. Like, no one could stop him. No one was stopping him. Just 1,000% the fastest car, and just continues to get it done. I don't know that he retires after 27 at this point.
No, it's not looking like it. I mean,
he talks about wanting to go out on top, but going out on top is such a hard thing to do because you're on top.
Yes.
Like, at the end of the day, and Dale's talked about it a good bit on the broadcast. Like, he says he wants to do this, but that's a hard thing to do.
It is, especially when you know you got more in you. Like when
absolutely, doesn't look nearly done. I don't care how old he is. Like, he's out there cooking at the end of the day.
Do you think? Because I mean, it's looking like it. I think it's going to be him or Tyler Reddick. It's going to be one of those two.
At this point, that's just what it looks like. And
it's one of those two. It's what it is. Unless
about how likely a Tyler Reddick title was at the beginning of the year, and now I don't know.
I mean,
this run for the 11 has been incredibly impressive. Out of the All-Star break, they are just on a heater. If they're able to keep this going, it could be his year, man. If they don't choke in the chase, and that Denny's had some trouble with that before, but all you have to do is be consistent through the chase, and you're good. And I think Denny can absolutely do that. So I don't want to jinx him or anything, but we will have to see.
No, but I mean, it would be cool. It'd be a cool storyline.
It absolutely would.
Because let's be honest.
It absolutely would.
Because let's be honest, he's gonna win another race this year. He's going.
He's gonna win multiple.
Yes.
Let's not stop at one.
So he's gonna pass Kyle Busch. Say he wins the championship. The year after, it looked like he was gonna win, and then some unfortunate stuff happened. All the stuff that happened to him in the offseason I think you got to go out. I mean, that is a storybook ending, but as you said, it is something
It's
that
so difficult.
it's so difficult. And let's stop talking about it because I don't want to jinx him at all. Don't want to jinx
I
him.
agree.
So
But
Cody,
no,
let's
I
just
definitely see what you're saying, and I completely agree with you.
yeah. Michigan was good. It again, like I said at the beginning, it's one of those tracks where you don't really think about it a lot until it's staring at you in the face during its week. Bless you, by the way, Cody. No, you went on mute there, but bless you, my man. It's one of those tracks you don't really think about till it's looking at you in the face during its week. But it's producing good races. It's very fun. We had a very good one, and we are looking forward to next week. Cody, let's look at our pick'em standings. I know it's been a little bit since we've had a video uploaded here, but let's go ahead and look at our pick'em standings for the year.
Yes, sir. The standings are drawing closer. Let's just put it that way. So we'll go back to the All-Star break at Charlotte. Zach, you took Larson. I took Chastain. Larson had a great run there. You got 54 points, where Chastain wrecked out, and I had 2 points.
It's funny because I almost picked Chastain for that race too before you did.
I felt so good about that too, and he wasn't running bad either. It was just it happens. But anyways, the next week we go to Nashville. Zach took who else? Denny Hamlin for 62 points, where I took the second place car that day, Christopher Bell, only getting 38. And Zach, that is where you took the lead.
Yes.
You had the lead, but unfortunately, I snagged it right back. This week, you took Bell for 11 points, and I took Hocevar for 45. So our standings currently, I have 530, and you have 511.
Dude, I mean, it is a shocker that we've been able to keep it this close throughout the year.
Hey, and sitting in standings, if we're looking at the Cup standings,
yeah,
I would be in third place, and you would be in fifth place. So
that's actually sick.
Ryan Blaney with 512.
That's sick. That's sick. We know ball, dude.
To catch up to those Toyotas, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. We know ball though. We do know ball. I mean, I don't think people.
We know what we're talking about.
I don't think people can say we don't at this point. I mean, this point in the year.
Man, hey, especially last week with picking first and second.
Yeah,
we're looking pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Apart from the occasional wreck out and me picking Alex Bowman at Coda, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, we're doing pretty good. But Cody, do you have anything else? I know this really wasn't like a Michigan one. It's just that this race, it was very interesting, but not a lot of interesting things happened. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of.
The only thing really interesting was that Bell wreck.
Yeah, really. Like, I mean, that was the only thing that was really interesting.
Thank God he is okay.
Yes, 100%.
That was scary.
Yes,
very scary. But thankfully, it didn't give us anything to talk about.
Yeah,
because, everything's chill.
Yeah, that's one of those hits where your heart skips a beat and you're like, "Oh, geez," and then you hear him on the radio and they're like, "All right, I'm good."
He didn't say anything on the radio. That's what was more terrifying.
Yes, and that was the problem. That's the problem because he didn't say anything, and you're like, "Okay, where's the all good? Where's the all good? Where's the all good?" And it didn't come, and you're like, "All right."
He just finally gets out of the car. Thank God.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Like, as a spotter, as a crew chief, it's got to be so terrifying to see a hit like that. Go, Christopher, you okay? Radio silence.
Yeah, that's got to be that has to be the worst feeling in the world.
I can only imagine, but like we said, thank God he's okay. Thank God they didn't give us anything to talk about there.
Yes, and we're thankful.
Pocono, baby.
Yeah, let's go to Pocono. Let's go to the Triangle. Love the Triangle.
What a great track. What a great track.
It's unique. We love it. Some
Absolutely.
people hate it. I don't know how some people hate it, but some people absolutely hate it.
It's just such a fun race.
It is
such a fun race.
At
the end of the day, it's so weird. I don't care.
Who cares?
I don't care. It's a good race. It's interesting. It gives us some color on the schedule at the end of the day.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Let's go to the Triangle. Let's have a hell of a weekend.
Well, this has been the Bluegrass Burnouts podcast, aka Bluegrass Burnouts YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.